Now I'm going to start the embossing, and it is a little messy, so I'm going to use the Ranger non-stick craft sheet. It works great because everything that I use that is left over is going to fall onto the mat, and then I can curl it up and put it back into the bottle so I'm not wasting any of it or throwing any of it away. So I'm just going to lay that down. And this is great too, not just for glitters or anything like that, but even paints, it will just peel right off. It really works great. I've used it on many projects. So now that I have my mat laid down, which is available on our website, as well as any of the Cricut materials you see, all of that is available all the time on our website. So I have my board that's painted and dry, and I have my block with my cute little stamp on it. I'm sure you can see it really does fit perfectly for this block. That this is a 2-inch stamp, so you can kind of see what size this block is. My Big embossing pad by Ranger as well, and on our website, customcrops.com. You can see it's a little messy from the alcohol ink. I've used this quite a bit this week. Just gonna get it good on there. Works just like a glue. And I'm always worried that I'm not getting it on there well enough, but it does cover it perfectly fine. There's a lot of glue in there, so I'm not too worried about it drying out anytime soon. What is amazing about this stamp that ended up working out great is that it fits perfectly in the corners. I just need to make sure that I have my stamp facing the proper way. And in this case, I wanted the flourish to kind of meet in the middle, facing down. Let me show you real quick with the board I already did so you know exactly what I mean. I have the flourishes meeting each other in the middle. So with this, you just have to make sure every time that you do have your stamp facing the proper way. So get it on my glue. Push your block up against the corner. Press down pretty firmly just to make sure you have it good and even before you put your embossing tinsel on there. Pull it off. Now the fun part. Just get your embossing tinsel. You can pour it on there, and I really hope you can see this well because it's so fun to see it just totally take form on top of that stamp. It does give a different effect once you use the heating tool, which I highly recommend. I'll show that to you in a little bit, but right now it looks like regular glitter. Once you've used the heating tool, it melts all of the embossing glitter together and just gives a totally different effect, which I thought I loved the way it looked without using the heating tool. But once I actually used it and gave that different effect, I really loved the way it turned out. So now I'm just going to work my way around the board, turned my stamp to face inward to where I have this same pattern continuing throughout. And to do the other side, you have to actually take the stamp off, which is great because it is so versatile. You can just take it off and then flip it the opposite way around, so that you get the same pattern on the other side. Otherwise, you cannot get it to do the same. So I have it flipped over again. So I have my shape on there. And you've pretty much got the idea of how I do it in the corner. So I just wanted to show you real quick how I do it in the center, and then we'll move on to our next step. I kind of eyeballed it. I usually have a tendency to do that, but then I thought I would just kind of give you a little measurement using the Cricut ruler from the Cricut toolkit. It's about 6 inches into the board where the outer part will land. So I actually had it to where the flourish is, okay, let me turn it around, sorry. Going to be facing this skinny part in the middle. So I will have it to where the actual end part is about 6 inches in. And it will have to be tilted this way. You want to try to hold it as steady as you can so that it's not moving around and changing the shape of the stamp. Again, just swirl it everywhere. And then you will just have to switch your stamp around and do the opposite on the other side. Now that we have our flourishes on the board, I'm going to show you how to do some cleaning up, because chances are you might have some little areas that you want to make look better. For example, on this middle one, I can see that I either didn't get enough glue or I just didn't press hard enough. I was probably trying to do it a little too fast to show you guys, but you can fix that, so don't worry. This brush might be a little too big for this, but the smaller the brush, it's going to be better. You can just put it into the glue on the glue pad and get it really good and covered on your brush. And for this flourish, this might work okay, this size brush, and just go right onto the area that the flourish would normally be. And just make sure you're getting glue onto that area. Kind of mess up the shape a little bit. Pour your glitter on there again. And now you can see how I really filled it back in again. Once you've got it cleaned up, I did add some detailing to this one. I'm not really going to show it with you because it was the exact same process. I just used a different stamp that I had made on the Cricut to add some red detailing on the corners. And like I said, it was the same exact detailing. So if you wanted to add a little bit more color, because once I had everything on there, my candles and everything, I decided that it actually could use a little bit more red. So we just did that to add a little bit more flair to it. And now that we've got that board finished, the only other thing you would need to do is add your feet, which are just some little wood. They actually call them button plugs that we got from a craft store, and we turned them into feet. I just painted them the exact same gold and then hot glued them onto the bottom right in the very corners. And then your board is complete. And now I will show you how to finish our glass.